Hello everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back. When thinking about what could have happened to the eco-sages, there's a few ideas that come to mind. A. They survived the invasion of metalheads and passed away of old age. Or B. They weren't able to defend themselves and sadly met their end. But what's interesting to take into account here, we are looking at sages with our own perceived knowledge of eco. Such knowledge of theirs might have given them the chance to survive the invasion of metalheads. When looking at these sages, they all specialize in one type of eco. First and foremost, one sage who's always been with us is Samos, the sage of green eco. He's the outlier here since he traveled with us to the future. As for the others, the question still remains, what happened to them? We had the sage of red eco, blue eco, and yellow eco. Dark eco, well, that was Gaul, and, Gaul and Maya met their demise.
The Dark Eco probably destroyed them.
If there's anything we can gather from The Lost Frontier, we'd like to believe in the idea of new sages. New people taking on the role of their predecessors. For example, Kira in the end realizes that she now just channeled eco. Tim, a former sage of Dark Eco, believes that Kira is in the path to becoming a sage. As we embark on our new journey in Haven City, the future, or the new present in this case, we soon come to realize that this city no longer seems to rely on the infrastructure of eco-sages. The city seems to rely on eco's self-sustainability. By this I mean different colored eco just happens to be there and seems to be harnessed for a certain purpose, mostly for weaponry. As for the lack of eco-sages in this time period, well, we are comparing, say, Sandover to a more futuristic setting. Naturally, as time goes by, we look at Industrial Revolution. Either the rulers of Haven City thought that eco-sages was an outdated ideology, or just time and tech taking its course, phasing out sages with time. Putting the idea of revolution aside, let's just go back into the past for a moment. Yes, the majority of the citizens could have perished. Let's not forget, we still are looking at eco, each having its own distinct set of properties. Properties which the sages not only had knowledge of, but something they could have used to defend themselves. Although we aren't talking about literal handheld weapons using eco as mods, we are comparing the past to the present, the least these sages could have potentially done is use these properties to their advantage and as a team. Each sage is known for having channeled eco, in other words, being exposed to it long enough to understand it. Unless communicating to plants and rocks was crucial, Samos, we gotta realize that he was no longer present. He traveled with us, the sage of green eco. Simply relying on blue, yellow, red, and green's healing capabilities, that could have upped their chances of survival during the invasion of metalheads. The Lost Frontier also acknowledges green eco as a fuel source. Kira calls it green eco fuel. It is unknown if such knowledge was ever uncovered prior to the founding of Haven City. And speaking of founding Haven City, I still feel there's head scratchers surrounding the founder, Mar. Mar was known as an ally to the Precursors and an ancient enemy to the Horakon, another name for metalheads. Mar served alongside the Precursors to protect the planet. For someone who's considered ancient, one can't help but wonder how Mar even had knowledge of future eco-technology, like the eco-grid and shield wall, for example. It's as if one is to believe that Mar originates from the future, knowledge of the future brought to the past. Then again, looking at the Precursors themselves, their tech looks pretty advanced. Look at the planetary defense system that was created to destroy Dark Maker ships. Knowing that these Precursors were Mar's ally, it's possible that they did at least help Mar in the technology department. Now, if we believe in the scenario where the eco-sages died during the Metalhead invasion, then we can't really picture them having descendants, unless they already had a kid somewhere. Even at that, descendants or not, that wouldn't have guaranteed their knowledge being passed down to their kids, let alone their kids wanting to study eco. Another likely scenario is whatever survivors there were back then, that's what maintained the growth of civilization, long enough for Mar to step in and found the city. Even with no sage descendants, that wouldn't have stopped one from wanting to study or channel Eco. So that's where the mystery lies. What do you think happened to the whole concept idea of the Eco Sages? Do you believe in the possibility of descendants or others channeling Eco, especially before the arrival of Mar? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, thank you so much for the support and thank you for always tuning in. I've been Vivi and until next time.